Huge welcome along this evening. I am Celine Egan, CEO of Juice Plus Australia and New Zealand, and I'm absolutely thrilled that you are joining us for a little cuppa and chat tonight, where we talk about the Juice Plus products and the Juice Plus program. Plus a little bit about the business that kind of underpins all of this amazingness. Did you know that the direct selling industry has been around for over 100 years? And Juice Plus, the company, has been around for 55 plus years now. So what you're going to hear about, of course, is a company that has stood the test of time. We are the number one trusted family wellness company across Australia and New Zealand. And part of that is because of our beautiful Healthy Starts program. We have given away over $18 million worth of product over the last 5 years alone to young people up to the age of 25, just for participating in what we get to do every day, helping people to kind of live well, eat well, and supplement well. So we have a small but mighty product range, and we have an amazing woman who's actually going to share a little bit about the product. In fact, it runs through her veins. So you're so passionate about what it is that we get to do, but she's so passionate about health and wellness. So much so that she's just finished a master's in lifestyle medicine, and she's already on to what's next. So please join me with welcoming the beautiful Fe Rye, where she talks to you a little bit about the Juice Plus products. Over to you, Fe. I am going to spotlight you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Celine. I'm very excited to be here. And this is one of my favorite things in the world to talk about are these products. And as Celine said, they course through my veins. They've been in my household for over 15 years now, which is great. When Linda introduced me to the product all that time ago, and I'm a proud Juice Plus mum, being able to raise my boys on this product. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what is Juice Plus. But before we get started, I want to kind of talk into, well, why do we even need Juice Plus? Because I think it's really important that we understand the theories behind what it is that we do here. So I don't know if you know, but our chronic health situation is on the rise, and this is across Australia and New Zealand. It's across the world. And, the basics of, mental health is going through the roof. The chronic illnesses across all sort of systemic inflammation is hitting higher levels. And I'm not just talking about in our older pops, I'm talking about across the whole lifespan, right from our kids all the way through to our older populations. Stress is a big thing that's happening out there. A lot of people are just living day to day in their sympathetic nervous system, in that fight or flight. And of course, all of this has a massive impact on our cellular health. Now, what is cellular health? Cellular health is really about how we are going to nourish our cells in order for them to do the job that they were born to do. Our cells know what they need to do. They don't need us checking in. Our heart knows how to beat. Our lungs know how to breathe. Our blood knows how to flow. All of this amazingness happens within our bodies without us having to think too much about it. Imagine if we had to think about doing all those things in one day. Right, now breathe, now heart pump, now do this. Crazy, right? But our cells take the load. They know what to do. The issue is that we've got to make sure that we're giving ourselves the right fuel to carry out those tasks. Because when we don't, it shows up as inflammation. It shows up as leaky gut. It shows up as autoimmune diseases. It shows up as mental health issues. And so it's very, very important that we learn to nourish ourselves properly and top up where we need to. Now, the situation is not great, because the Australian Bureau of Statistics is showing us that 97% are not doing the right thing when it comes to eating fruits and vegetables. 97%, that's a pretty big hunk, okay? That means 3% of us are getting it right, and the rest are not being able to maintain that 2 and 5, or if you're a male between the age of 19 and 30, you're actually supposed to be two fruits and 6 vegetables. You had an upgrade, did you even know? And so, I think that is a very important correlation that we need to understand, that we're not fueling our bodies. We have 97% of the population who are not getting the fuel and the nutrition that they need. And we've got this massive chronic illness problem. And I think if you all think back, if you're as old as me or older, mum was never around the table telling me to eat more jelly and ice cream. It was always make sure you're eating your vegetables, make sure those vegetables clear your plate, and I think that's, just divine wisdom passed down through the generations. And I think maybe we've lost a little bit of that. So how does Juice Plus fit in? Well, Juice Plus is a vegan range of products, which means it's all plant-based. We, in fact, are the plant powder pioneers. Now, Celine has already touched on the fact that this company is actually 1 year older than me. So there you go, just giving away my age. It started a year before I started. And this product range has been globally available over 30 years. And it's basically a simple way to top up on these vital nutrients. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our product range, and I'm going to start with our flagship product. This is our fruit and vegetables. Our fruit and veg, these are my friends. Whenever I present, I always say to Celine, make sure my friends are there so I can hold them and talk about them. So our fruit and veg are our pioneers. They are the ones that we started with all those years ago. And the basics are we need more fruits and vegetables in our diet, but we need what's good from the fruits and vegetables in our diet. And I'm talking about things like polyphenols only come from plants, antioxidants, the vitamins and the minerals that come from plants, and of course fiber, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. So these guys are here to help us top up on the fruits and vegetable micronutrients that we need. And they are there to support things like our immune system, our cognitive health, our heart health, our blood vessels. They all need the micronutrients that come from the polyphenols that you are going to find in these guys. And Celine has touched on our Healthy Starts program. She's told us how much we give away annually, which is a phenomenal amount. And for every adult that is on just the start of our flagship product, you can be on a bundle, but these are the minimum that you need to be on in order to receive that product available for anyone between 4 and 25 years old, any child or young person. And they can either have the capsules or our chewables. They're never full at my house. They're always empty packets, which are the same powders that we have in our capsules turned into a chewable. I want to touch on these powders. Vine ripened fruits and vegetables grown in the best way possible for that particular produce, grown in the place where that produce grows the best. They are instant quick frozen. They are blended. The powders are then dried and blended, very low temperatures to make sure we retain those micronutrient levels. And then they are encapsulated. So very, very simple process. It sounds very simple when I rattle it off like that, but of course, many, many years of innovation and making sure that we're doing the right thing by the plants to make sure that we're doing the right thing by our customers and delivering the best and highest quality nutrition that we can. We then enter Berry Blend. It came on the block a little while after our fruits and vegetables, and these guys are very important for antioxidants. I think if I asked anyone what a berry is important for, you would all say antioxidants. And again, a blend of berries that serve us. Bilberries are in here. We've got blackberries, all the amazing berries that are there to give us that broad spectrum of antioxidants. And broad spectrum is a very important part of this because we don't just pick any produce. We pick specific produce that gives us that rainbow of color across our 3 blends to make sure that we're getting the polyphenols and the antioxidants from various plants. Okay, really important that we've got that variety. Then we have our amazing omegas, plant-based, again, algal oil and cold pressed seed oils, which are there to provide omegas 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. And these babies are very important for our nervous system. So enter another system in our body that needs it. So the antioxidants in here, that's just helping everything else function. So our nervous system is supported here by our omegas. Now I want you to think these guys as the oil in the car. You're the car, this is the oil. This is going to get into all those nooks and crannies and make sure that things are working the way they should and delivering that at a cellular level. Okay, and this is never to replace food. We still need to eat fruits and vegetables. It's a very, very important message, and it's something that we're very proud of telling people. This is not what you are just replacing fruits and vegetables with. It's always just to bridge that gap between what you might be doing and what you know in your heart and soul that you need as far as it goes with fruits, vegetables, and of course berries. So think of these guys as the oil in the system and supporting all of those systems that I've already spoken about. Now we're going to switch gears into our powders. I'm just going to touch on these because this is the fuel. We need our macronutrients to make the car run. And so this is where we're going to get our carbohydrates, our proteins, our good fats. We're also going to get our fiber. Now, fiber only comes from plants. Did you know that? You cannot get fiber from any animal product. So if we already know that 97% of the population are not eating enough fruits and vegetables, and we know that chronic health is on the rise, and we know that fiber only comes from plants, hopefully you're starting to see how this all links up. Fiber is super important. It feeds our gut bugs and it helps everything work in our body. Our gut talks to every part of our body. There's a gut brain axis, there's a gut bone axis, there's a gut skin axis, there's a gut everything axis. And so it's really important that we get fiber. I love Complete. It's carbohydrates, it's protein, and it's the fiber that I need every day to fuel. I bulk it up with some almond milk, maybe it's a banana, maybe I'm adding some kale, but these are on the go on their own, 120 calories. It's a great on the go snack, healthy chocolate milk, and kids love these too. So these are the first of our powders. These have been around for a while. Perform is the next. It is our high protein, 25 grams of protein. Okay, now ladies, I'm going to reach out to you for a second because I can tell you that statistics are also showing that the women in this country and New Zealand are very, very low on protein intake. And that is across the lifespan as well. That's everything from our 13-year-old girls who are going through puberty right through to our older population and women. And so often I think, we think of protein and going to the gym and having protein shakes and that kind of thing. But the truth is we're not getting enough protein. And if I can get an extra 25 grams in a smoothie, sometimes I'll even add a little bit of chocolate Complete, make a cherry ripe. That is a win for my body. Okay. Now, the other exciting thing about Perform is that it comes with a tart cherry and beetroot ingredients, which is there to support our recovery process and for our muscles. Really, really important. So definitely look at Perform if you are needing to increase your protein. And Denise says, you've just done the Camino walk and you are on the protein. I love it, Denise. The other couple of powders we've got, and these are, again, new products for us in 2025, which is very exciting. Cacao. Cacao is a great way to unwind, but ours comes in little rocks and you can just have it as a nibble on the go. I love putting it in a trail mix. I don't know if you did that on the Camino trail, Denise, but having cacao in a trail mix is really yummy. And this is like liquid silk. I don't know if you guys are using this cacao or if you're a cacao lover, but if you are a cacao lover and you haven't tried this one, do yourself a favor. It is just sensational. It is so moreish. Again, look, empty. Don't worry, there's more in the cupboard, but it's just so beautiful, and it comes from Ecuador, from a very rare Theobroma tree that is exquisite. So our cacao is a new product. And then a newest kid on the block, our Illuminate. Now, Illuminate is there for mental performance and focus, and it's really yummy in the water, or you can have it with hot water. I know Celine and I love having it as a morning ritual rather than having coffee in the morning. Tell you what else is great about this. It's got 80 grams of caffeine in it, but it's green coffee bean. It's not roasted coffee. So if caffeine gives you a bit of a digestive upset, I can pretty much guarantee that this won't, because it's the way that the coffee bean is treated. As I say, it's a green coffee bean, so it doesn't go through a lot of the processing that they do when they're roasting, and so it's much more gentle on the digestive system. So that, in a nutshell, in a very quick, is our product range. As I mentioned along the way, I've talked about into our immune health and cognitive health and heart health and blood vessels and our nervous system. I'm not making that up. We have much research, so much research on this product. This is all backed by science. And even our Illuminate, we've actually got a little a survey done to see how this performs with people. Even though it's not a fully researched product, the company still goes to the innovation to find out what happens when people take our products. The research is gold standard. It's peer reviewed, it's published in medical journals, and it's definitely part of the reason that I had a look at this product right in the first place. So if that is something of importance to you, you can definitely reach out for our research summaries. But Celine, I am going to hand back to you now that we know the product behind the business opportunity. I'm going to get you to talk into how we actually use this product to help people in their own lives, but also to build a business.
I love it. I love it. Can you please drop your favorite emoji in there if you're as excited about? I mean, I've been on Juice Plus since 2009, and however, when Fee talks with her enthusiasm and her excitement, I just take it because you know what? I know it's going to do me good. You know, I turned 60 this year, and I just kind of go, you know, every year I'm planning to live to 102. So anything that can help, kind of, you know, that longevity, I'm in for it. But when Fee talks, I just love her passion and her wisdom around it all. I love, even though I don't understand, I'll be honest, I don't understand half of the research. There's an awful lot of big, scary words in there. However, what I love is that our company invests so much into research and have been doing from pretty much when the product came on the market. Like Juice Plus is that the company has been around for 55 plus years, started in 1970. The product was launched in 1993, the same age as my middle son, actually, and that too. So it's been around for a really, really long time, but nearly out of the gate, they knew that it was going to be so important to make sure that research was part of what it is that we do. So we don't need to. You can even go and ask Siri. We are the most researched nutraceutical on the planet, which is really good for us to know. But we continue as a company to invest into research because we know that it's important. We want to help people not just to be popping pills, but to live well, eat well, supplement well. And we know that when you're doing that, what we hear, and you know, from our own personal experiences too, when you're looking after yourself, you actually crave to actually even continue to do better. So you start to drink more water, you start to do all of those things. But underpinning all of this is a beautiful business model. Now, for those who are on the call or who are listening to this later on, who may not understand what direct selling is, literally, it's the OG of the gig economy. That's how it's the best way to put it. Okay, it's as old as time. In fact, I was doing some other research. I've been part of this beautiful profession for over 40 years now. I signed my first application into a direct selling company at the age of 19 back in Dublin. So I'm kind of a little bit of an OG legend myself. It's in my blood. I'm never going anywhere. However, when I looked back at other research, do you know that direct selling has actually been around since 1886? And a couple of names that you might know, Tupperware, for example, was founded in 1946. Okay, so when you start to think about it, it is the OG of the gig economy now that we see with Ubers and all of those kinds of things. So we've been around for a long, long time. So sometimes when people say, oh, is it one of those? The reality is that it is an industry and a profession that has stood the test of time. And I love that. I'm super proud of it. Really, what is it? It's a business model that allows real mums and dads share their stories about a product that they love. That's the reality of it. You know, oftentimes we will have a friend who will recommend a book, or they'll recommend a restaurant, or they'll recommend a movie out there. We'll go without even thinking about it. We'll just go along. This is exactly the same. You have real mums and dads that are using a product, they're passionate about a product, just like Fee, and then share their story with you. And if it's something that you kind of think, actually, that makes sense, then you come on the journey with them. And you can do that either of two ways, either by adding Juice Plus to your diet, or by actually deciding that, you know, you want to actually be part of sharing as well. And we find that the people who share the best and have the most successful businesses are those who are, of course, raving fan product users as well. It just makes sense being a product of the product. So you get to be able to earn an income, and you can decide what that looks like. It could be just that extra little bit. And for me, to be honest, it was literally that just extra bit that I could early on, before children, was around just being able to travel more and have more experiences. That's all it was. It was just pocket money on the side. But when we started to have children, that was when it shifted for me, because we had, back in the day, no maternity leave. There was none of that kind of thing. I was back at work when the first two were 3 months old each. And at that point in time, I thought, I want our life to be a little bit different. If you hear my accent, originally from Dublin, Ireland, living on this side of the world. And so for me, It was just a choice to be able to do that. And I decided that I was going to go all in. You may not decide to do something like that. You might be just the extra few $100 maybe a month, might be just to be able to help you say yes to more. I wanted different choices. I wanted to be able to replace my income in merchant banking and actually be able to have choices around our family and what we did. And so that's what I did. But it can be anything. It can be for that mom who just wants to be able to work one less day so she can be home a little bit more. It could be for the dad who goes, you know what, I want to be able to say yes to more for experiences. It could be for the woman who is entering into the second half of her life and realizes that maybe the super or whatever else is not kind of really going to leave her in a situation where she gets the opportunity to do some more things in that second half of life. So whatever it might like to be for you, that is the beautiful opportunity that this business gives. It could also be as simple as you just want to get your products cheaper and maybe share with those people that you love around you, your families and friends. It's great. It can be anything that you want. So whatever that might look like for you, we're here to step along on that journey. So what I would say to you, the question I would probably ask you, I'm thinking about the product first. What is it that you need to know to make an excited decision about adding Juice Plus to your diet? Because if you were listening to Fe, every one of us can need a little leg up. You may already think, you know what, I eat everything and all the rest kind of thing. And that is great. This is not about replacing that, but it is about the edge. It's about bridging that little gap. And this is what I look at it. I know what I should eat every single day. And you know what? I do a good job, but I'm not perfect. And I know that to really be healthy, to be able to travel effective, to be able to roll around on the ground with these grandkids I have now, and that I know that I need the edge. And for me, Juice Plus is my edge. So what else do you need to know that would really help you to make an excited decision about adding Juice Plus to your diet today? And the second question I have is, even if you're just a little bit curious about, what could this be? Could I get my products cheaper? Could I maybe earn that extra bit of money, especially leading into Christmas? It's one of the most expensive times of the year for families. And there's so much pressure to spend money on things that, half the time we don't need. But the reality is there is that pressure that's on. We want to be able to help families have debt-free Christmases. So that's really important to us as well. So if that's even raised a little bit of curiosity with you, again, I would ask, what else do you need to know to be able to make a decision about coming on that journey with us? So somebody invited you along this evening. I would love, and they will be following up with you as well, I'd love for you to think about those two questions. What is it that you would need to know to be able to make that excited decision about adding Juice Plus to your diet, or coming on the journey with us and being able to share our mission of inspiring healthy living around the world? We're so excited that you joined us this evening. I hope you enjoyed our little coffee and chat kind of thing. I hope you had a coffee or a cacao, or in my case, my water. We would love, if there's any questions or anything like that, please make sure that you pop them into the chat here or the chat in the event, or more importantly, make sure that you have a conversation with whoever invited you along this evening. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we can't wait to catch up with you next time. Take care and God bless. Bye for now.